Welcome back to the channel, YouTubians. Paddock Kart Scale Dreams. First off, I just want to thank everyone for the interest and the support in the last video. I really appreciate it. Happy Friday to you all. Today's my last day off. I know you guys are gearing up for the weekend, and hope everyone has a good weekend. So anyways, I am here for a final on my group build, my off-road group build. You still have time to enter this one. Goes until the end of December 31st. So yeah, still September, October, November. Still 4 months to go. I've finished mine. A few other people have as well. I want to thank those who have finished. I really appreciate you guys participating. Those who are still in progress, I really appreciate the support in the group build. And don't forget, send me those photos, 5 photos of your completed build. My daughter's finished hers as well, her Jeepy. Now I've finished mine. This is the second part of my the group build the build that I did for my off-road group build last year. So last year I did the Bronco part, and this year I've done the dune buggy, the Funco SS1 dune buggy. So, and I also did the trailer, finished that up as well today. So yeah, as a combo, it looks pretty cool, I think. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you guys what that all looks like. So if you want to see the Bronco build, check out this video. I'll link that, the final of that. I'll show a bit of it in this in this presentation or whatever. I'm not going to focus on it too much, but pretty simple build though. Pretty cool build. Apparently these buggies were built in the 70s. By a guy named Funco. This was his body style, I guess. And these were raced in the Baja 500, 1000. I watched a video of a guy who, sorry, I can't remember his name. But him and a buddy, another driver, did the Baja 1000, and they both did 500. And then switched off, but really cool. Obviously there's some inaccuracies with the kit, but overall it builds pretty nice and it looks really cool. So that's the main part, and I had fun, which was the main goal, right? So yeah, I won't talk too much more. I'll get you guys turned around, and we'll have a look at this Funco SS1. Alright, here's the Funco SS1 dune buggy. This thing is really cool, I think. So I made my custom mix of the blue with using Vallejo blue, and then I added gunmetal to it. Made a pretty cool metallic paint job. I covered that in 1K clear from Duplicolor. Went on pretty nice. Decals are from the kit. I just mix and matched those. Dirtied up the tires a little bit. So in this kit, the front tires are a little wide. If you search one of these cars, you'll see how skinny the front tires are. But essentially the overall look of the car is correct. A few things like where they fueled the cars, it would have been right here rather than this. Most of them did have Volkswagen engines, and that's what's represented here. I didn't know what that was. I've never seen a Volkswagen engine before, or built one or nothing. So I had no idea what that was. So overall, I think the build went pretty good. I did have some issues getting it together. There's a bit of a gap there. Once I test fitted, I didn't test fit with the wall that goes in the back between the seat and the gas tank, fuel tank, and I messed that up. I super glued it, and then I realized that there was no room. There was a gap, and I should have trimmed a little bit of this down right here. So you'll have to watch out for that if you ever build this. My body was twisted and snapped here, was twisted, so it is still twisted. This tire doesn't quite reach the ground, but other than that, this thing is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's kind of a neat history, how they race these cars in the 70s, or these dune buggies in the 70s. I would have liked to put netting all around, but I was trying to just get this done. I haven't built a lot this year. Or finished. I've built, but I haven't finished much. I did add a photo etch key in there. I don't know if you can see that from here. So there's a photo etch key there, and then it didn't have any bezels for the gauges, so I made bezels, put those in. That's the only things I've added was on the dash here, the only thing. So that turned out really good. Pretty happy with that. My top decals kind of bunched up on me, but still they look pretty cool. Yeah, other than that, bottom's pretty, I dirtied that up a little bit. I was gonna weather it, but the paint turned out pretty decent, so I didn't want to dirty it up. I'm gonna have some photos of this thing at the end of this video, so if you want to look at those, please do. So I'll just quickly pause this, and I'll grab the trailer, and then I'll grab the Bronco. All right, here it is. Here's the Bronco and the trailer together. I color matched the trailer with the Bronco. I had a little bit of that Arcadian blue left over, and it was just enough to get this painted up. Oh, I mean, there's a little spot there. Anyways, so I think it looks pretty cool. The trailer hitch, it's just mocked on there. It's too high. I gotta somehow lower that so the tires will sit flat on the trailer. But like I said, if you want to see this one, there's a final. I'll link it in the description. I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit, kind of show the trailer. So yeah, the trailer turned out pretty decent, pretty simple, not much to it, just like the buggy, not much to the kit. It's kind of cool. The ramps go up and down. All I really did was put an Arizona plate on it. I think it's a newer style or Arizona plate, but even the Bronco itself has Arizona plates, so it matches. It did roll, but I glued the axles in because I didn't want it to roll. Did a little bit of silvering or steel on where the dune buggy would drive up, so it's a little worn slightly. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that must be from the tire. But yeah, turned out pretty cool. I'm super happy with this build. Like I said, there's still time to get in on the off-road group build 2025. This year, still have time. End of December. Thank you for watching. Hope you all have a good weekend. Stay safe. And prayers for those who need them. Pat out. Model on. Thank you. Thank you very much.